Hey, what's up everybody? In this video, I'm going to review Star Minnie from Mickey and Friends. Star Minnie is one of the new Tsums that just came out, and there's actually a lot to unpack here, so let's get into it. For Star Minnie, the drop rates is exactly the same as Star Daisy, so for me it's at 50%, but essentially depending on what Tsums you have, the drop rates are going to be identical. Now, if you already got Star Minnie and you realize that Star Minnie is not a good Tsum for you, watch this video first because I realized that I was using Star Minnie incorrectly and you may be making the same mistakes as well. So to get into it, Star Minnie is a Tsum that will clear Tsums in the shape of a heart. So there's two parts to her ability. And then afterwards, bubbles will turn into these special magic bubbles, which is the critical part. The description is not very clear, but I will show you how to properly use the ability to maximize its coin earning potential and also getting a higher score. And if you guys are enjoying this type of content where I review Tsums, do monthly leaks, and talk about the selection and premium boxes, then definitely don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your subscription really helps me out a lot. Alright, so let's get into Star Minnie's stats. In order to activate her ability, you're going to need to clear anywhere between 20 to 25 copies of her off the screen. This number will depend on your skill level. The minimum score is 150 with a maximum score of 983. So Star Minnie is not going to be amazing for score, but I would say it's in the average range. Her ability does make up for it, so we'll get into that in a little bit here. And if you would like to get Star Minnie to skill level 6, you're going to need to get a total of 32 copies of her from the premium box or using skill tickets. As for Star Minnie's ability, there are two different components, and that's the skill range and the number of Tsums that's needed to activate her ability. If you look at the skill chart on the bottom right hand corner, you'll notice that every single time you level up her ability, two things changes. So first is the skill range, and that starts at extra small, and then it'll get up to skill level 6, which is extra large. And you'll also notice that it's easier to activate the ability once you get her to skill level 6, which only requires you 20 copies of her versus 25 for skill level 1. So there are some big changes as you level up Star Minnie. Now, Star Minnie is a relatively easy Tsum to use once you figure out how to use her properly. It's not very clear initially. It took me a little bit of time to figure out how to use her. And actually in these 3 game demonstrations you're about to see here, I technically did them wrong. So don't follow exactly what I did here in these 3 game demonstrations, but really listen to my commentary and then learn how to use it appropriately. I'll also show you a specific game demonstration where I did use Star Minnie properly so you can see how to use her. I would say that if you use her properly, you should get a lot more coins and a lot more score than these 3 game demonstrations. Alright, so let's take a look at these 3 game demonstrations. For skill level 1, the skill range is going to be extra small and you need 25 copies of her to activate the ability. Skill level 2, skill range is small with a need of 24 copies to activate the ability. Skill level 3, medium size range with a need of 25 or 23 copies clear off the screen to activate the ability. So it's going to be a lot easier to activate the ability as skill level 3 versus skill level 1 and 2. So going into it, what you want to do initially is create as many magic bubbles as possible. And what you also want to do is when there's a bubble on the screen, don't pop them like you just saw there at skill level 2. You want to collect as many bubbles on the screen as possible. What actually happens is when you activate the ability, the Star Minnie has like this shooting star effect that comes down and turns all of the bubbles that are on the screen into these special Star Minnie bubbles. And these special Star Minnie bubbles have different effects, so I'll get into that a little bit later, but essentially the red one has an X shape, the green one has a horizontal blast, and then the vertical one is the blue one. There's another Tsum that has these color ones that makes these X shape as well, but I can't recall which one there, which Tsum that is. But if you remember which Tsum that is, leave it in the comments below and let me know. So yeah, definitely save those regular bubbles until you activate the ability. And then the next thing you want to do is you want to pop those special Star Minnie bubbles after you activate the ability, but do them one at a time. By doing this, you'll be able to get into fever time quicker, and you'll also be able to change different bubbles into the special magic bubbles as well after you activate the ability. But ultimately, your goal is to stay in fever time and try to get these special magic bubbles as much as possible. Another thing you could also use is the bubble ability. By using the bubble ability, instead of needing to make a chain of 7 to make bubbles, you only need 6. So I don't normally use the bubble abilities or the bubble boost. I mean, if you have a lot of those boost tickets for bubble making, then definitely use them on this Tsum because it's very effective. I can't think of another Tsum that would really need to use a bubble boost, so if you have them, use them on Star Minnie. So those are the 4 quick tips that I have when you're using Star Mini. So what I'm going to do now is show you a side-by-side comparison of the abilities activated at the same time, and I'll show you what's actually happening right now, and then also show you how to do it properly. So that was the full animation speed, and here it is slowed down, and I'll walk you through what's actually happening. As Star Mini is activated, this ability that's bursting center area is the reference of the skill range. When I was recording these game demonstrations, I was still trying to figure out how to use this zoom. So what you want to do is you want to make sure the entire screen is actually full of zoom before you activate the ability. When that happens, the center burst will be bigger. As you see here, I didn't do that. So that's why for skill level 1 and skill level 2, actually skill level 3 as well, I didn't actually get the maximum amount. And this is in reference to the skill range the ability was talking about. For skill level 1, I only got 15, skill level 2, I got 14, and skill level 3, only 16. But I think that if I did it properly, skill level 3 should be in the 20s, and skill level 2 probably high 10s. And then skill level 1 is probably in the same range of 15, 16, 17, 18, like in that range. But definitely if you wait until the screen is full, then activate it, you'll get a lot more than I did here for these demonstrations. All right, so now this second part is the unique part. The star comes down and turns all of these star bubbles into these special Star Mini bubbles. But because I was doing it wrong, I only had 1 bubble on the screen. So that's why I recommend you to make sure you save up all of these star bubbles, or not star bubbles, save all these regular bubbles. So that way, when you activate the ability, it'll turn them into these special Star Mini bubbles. And there's 3 different colors. So there's a green one, a red one, and a blue one, and they all do different things. The green one on the left does a horizontal burst, the red one does an X shape, and then the blue one on the right hand side does a vertical burst. So they all do different things. And I would recommend you, if you care, to burst them in the center area first. So like clear as many as you can, but do them one at a time. So burst the red ones first because they make an X shape. And then the other 2 doesn't really matter too much. I would say prioritize the blue ones over the green ones because they are vertical bursts. So let me play this through so you can see it. Here it is in the shape of their color in reference. So green again, horizontal, X for red, and blue for vertical. So as you see here, the chains are going to vary, but if you compare the sizes, X is always going to be the most coins that you're going to get. And then second is going to be your vertical one. I don't know why for skill level 1 here I got 21, but typically if you do it properly, your vertical burst should get a lot more coins than the skill level 1 one, which is a horizontal one. So prioritize your X ones, then your vertical ones, and then the horizontal ones. Now you might wonder, what is the skill range, right? All of these bursts are going to be the same regardless if you are skill level 1 through skill level 6. The only difference is that initial one with that center burst. So that's why I recommend you to make sure the center of the screen is full. Now I'm going to show you how to properly use Star Mini. What you saw there was an incorrect game demonstration. So like I mentioned, what you should do is you want to save up all these star bubbles on the screen and then activate the ability. As you see here, a bunch of those star bubbles are now special. And if you see these big zooms on the screen, definitely turn them into regular bubbles. But again, don't burst them yet. You want to save them for the ability time and turn those into special bubbles again. As you can see, I'm already starting to charge up Star Mini again. But you keep this process going. You want to make sure that you're always generating regular bubbles and then converting those into special Star Mini bubbles as you play through. Ideally, you want to have these Star Mini bubbles on the screen at all times, but it's not always going to be the case. But it's definitely going to help as you level up your gameplay and you get a rhythm going. Essentially, what you want to do is make long chains and generate those regular bubbles and then activate the ability to turn those into special Star Mini bubbles and then just keep that cycle going. But regardless, I want to show you these results for these 3 gameplays. And again, keep in mind, I didn't use the right strategy for these 3 gameplays. You're likely, if you're not using these strategies correctly, you're likely experiencing these same results. But I would say if you are doing it correctly, you could even experience double the amount of coins that I got in these 3 game demonstrations. So let's take a look. For skill level 1, I got 985 coins. Skill level 2, 1,177. Skill level 3, 1,236. As for score, all 3 of them were in the 3 million, so 3.1 for skill level 1, 3.6 for skill level 2, and 3.3 for skill level 3. And if you guys have Star Mini, please let me know what skill level you have her at and how many coins you're getting, as well as what your score is. I'm really curious to see what the lower skill levels will earn you if you do it properly. Unfortunately, I didn't do them properly, so I can't show you guys the actual earning potential. But yeah, check out the comments below and then see what other people got. Alright, so that's my review for Star Minnie. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I will do another video for skill level 4, 5, and 6 and show you what their true coin earning potential are. So if you are interested in investing in Star Minnie, stay tuned. There is going to be another video that covers Star Minnie at the higher skill level. So that's my review for Star Minnie at the lower skill levels. And if you guys would like to see more Tsum Tsum content just like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching.